of which tomorrow they will try to vie for an even tighter position, which is top 8.
Yeah, top 8 is the name of the game, but then you have to break through top 32 first if you realistically want to look for that top 8 position here. With the game being started off here, we do see an aggressive exchanger coming in from SANGJIE to look for that mid lane priority bush.
Yep, Zhihong has a very important job here. He needs to try and make life as difficult as possible because the wave clear on Xiaoxia is going to be really quick. Naturally, he should win the lane.
For this especially though, Xiaoxia and SANGJIE, their priority in the mid is very potent, but it comes into a different sort of counter here. Zhihong and also Musang King and JR, their ability to find the backline is what really counters the cap boom in this exchange.
Yes, because SJT, their lineup is not exactly very tanky as well. Kind of squishy if you ask me. But with that, the steal coming in as Xiaoxia, look, we know about it. The difference is minute, but the difference can be significant if you allow it too many times. HBSC already trailing in terms of gold.
It's a very good start so far coming in for the very least for SJT here. Being able to steal away some of these jungle resources is exactly what you want to be seeing in the early game here. But good news so far, bot lane though still gets engaged on.
It's going to be first blood secured by the side of SJT. We talked about this. This early game is supposed to be HBSC, but because of the engage coming in from the side of SJT, they have made life a little bit more difficult for Homeboys.
Yeah, that was a very good CC change here coming in from SANGJIE into the Yu's Aguro Furball in making sure that Ze has no room of actually escaping towards safety. So beautiful stuff here. First blood in the hands of SJT.
And this is a big difficulty for the side of HBSC, right? Because this means Ze will not hit level 4 as fast as SANGJIE, which means there is one more wave of aggression that might come from SJT before the 4-minute mark.
And this is the IQ Watch GT2 for the side of Yuji on the Clash lane here. 140 heart rate for this Clash lane here. So you can definitely see behind the glorious gameplay on those playmaking department, he's pretty intense with himself.
Yeah, I mean, the stakes are high. You really want to prove a point, right? 140 is a pretty high heart rate, but this means this game is as important to them.
Yep, when you lose this, you're technically out of the tournament here, so the full year value that you have already generated for your streamer path, it's, I would say, mitigated due to this loss itself. So anything that they do, they need to make sure that they win this best of 5, and this one, they are inviting themselves to the top 16 with this win.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good position to be in. JR here has stolen away that Spiketail Beast, which means here, Musang King gonna show himself as they try to push him back, and this is gonna help them secure the second space right of the game, allowing for faster rotations coming in from HBSC.
As long as they continuously pick up all these neutral resources here, we might see a much more comfortable mid-game here, because HBSC's draft, they start to come online at 6 to 8 minutes here. With the Chicha, Jing, and also the Dharma, it's stronger later on, but not definitely now in the early game.
Where is this big value? We saw that 1v1 in game number 1. Chicha being put in some really shows us to get force to be reckoned with. But for VB, what does he need to do? This is a lineup that's pretty difficult to go.
Now, for now, at the very least, we do need to see how HBC really plays its early game here, because for this moment, it's not looking too good with the goalie.
Yep, it's definitely not looking good at this point. HBSE trying to make sure they keep close at this point. It is close to 1,000 goal advantage going to the side of SJT. They found out where Musang King is. They're going to try and land everything to catch out the jungler. And he is not looking too good on the back. So finally, they may have found the target, but the stuns are coming in as well. Musang King trying to last against like a Yei. Which team is better? Musang King will finish the job for the side of Yei. And with that, it's going to be one kill. First blood goes into the hands of HBSC. 1-for-1 trade.
1-for-1 trade in favor for the side of HBSC here, as they do take away the life of Yeguis in this exchange here. Can they realistically push on for more value in the top side department here? As you can see, Zhihong is guarding the return of Yuji's return to their Clash lane.
Yeah, and this means, well, we'll take a look at the replay here. Musang King initially got founded out. Very nice unbridled outburst by the side of Zhe as well, locking down quite a few members on the side of SJT. The most important portion was the fact that it took them a little while, but they did manage to get Yeyu down, which means they couldn't find value for the rest of the fight.
Yeah, that's a 4-man CC by the side of Vivi, by the way, on that Chicha. I've got to say, Chicha has been having a phenomenal blast with this hero here. Ever since the introduction of Chicha, the potency of this hero in going all 3 lanes is very fun to watch, especially in competitive.
Yeah, that is really one entertaining portion. Now, HBSE, they secure the first tyrant of the game. This puts them on equal footing in terms of gold. But the biggest difference here is that there is an exchange. Musang King leads the gold against Ye, but in the mid, Xiao Xia actually leads against Zhihong.
And JR is going for a full tank build on this Dharma here, but being cutting down by Yuji's Umbrosa here, that's going to be painful for us at HBSE.
Yeah, falling the ones, not the pain here. It's losing the T1 that hurts HBSE the most. But they have managed to take a trade in the T1 at the bottom side of the map. So it's going to be an even trade unless Vivi as well as Musang King actually get this T2 for free.
Yep, they do in fact get the T2 for free here. So JR's sacrifice wasn't in vain here for this exchange. But so far, at the 6-minute mark, it's a much more equal game between these two teams.
Yeah, it definitely is. But this is not speaking well for the side of HBSE because HBSE have taken more turrets, but they're losing in terms of gold, which means SJT, once the dust settles and they're able to balance the number of turrets, SJT naturally will have the gold lead back.
Yep, for now, it's still an even look here. And as I talk about back in towards the early stages of this game, this is HBSE's timer here. 6 to 10 minutes is where a no farm lane meta starts to thrive stronger compared to Yucho on their channel.
Yeah, but the late game is going to be a huge issue. HBSE,
Right.
they're going to start working on this initial overlord. Will be put into their hands. So they've taken 2 objectives. What can they do with this? They need to get more across the map.
Yeah, JR being spotted out by the Spirit Wolves here has to back away towards safety here. That mid bush will be given over to the side of SJT members.
So what does SJT have to do here if they want to win this next team fight?
Delay the game, make sure that you hit your 4 to 5 item power spikes here. You are not battling against time. It's HBSC who's looking for those aggressive engages here.
Oh, that's right. I mean, at this point, Zhihong, has he really found the value as a Mai? That's the biggest question here because we have seen the knockups, the bounce around, or as you like to call it, the bounce house effect from the side of HBSC.
I think not yet, but so far, he will definitely have his moments to shine later on in the big team fights. But like you mentioned, SJT, they're not giving you the opportunity for HBSC to realistically jump on them here. Yeyu is playing a very aggressive Agudo game.
Actually, you know what? I think this is all planned. All planned for the side of SJT. They don't really have to rush, right? Late game wise, they have a trio engaged. They have Yuji, they have the Yeyu Agudo, and of course you have Yuchio on this channel. That's a lot of turret damage. That's a lot of team fight potential as well.
That is true here. So at the very least, can HOMEBOISE Black Shoe Esports force the perfect 10-minute team fight here? The 10-minute will be so darn crucial coming in for both of these squads. One wrong mistake might just send you into a downward spiral in that goal chart.
See, stun onto Musang King for the moment. He has been trying to find those angles to approach, but so far not been able to find too much value just yet. Wild Growth going to be used, looking for an opening. Unbridled Alpus catches a 3, and this is going to be the setup from the side of HOMEBOISE BSC. Now Ultimate has been available for the side of Xiaojia, used already, and JR should be taken down. Zhihong is the next to fall as well. There's 2 members for the price of none, and SJT, they stand against the aggression, hold strong.
That's the power coming in for the Zhenren here. Even though you take the first life here, he can make sure that his teammates comes back alive with a click of the ultimate here. What we didn't see in Game 3 from HBSC has been completed by Xiaojia on this Zhenren once again.
Yeah, the value. It shows you the difference of having an extra life, right? And this is not just 1 extra life, it's 2 because you have Yuji on this Umbrosa as well with the ultimate Indomitable Spirit. They try to push another portion of aggression on this T1 in the mid. If they can get this free damage down, it will be a little bit more difficult to transition into the later parts of this game for HOMEBOISE BSC.
Yeah, the wave clear is still consistently good thus far coming in from HBSC, holding the goalie within a 1,000 low here. So for HBSC, they still have it in them for the next upcoming 10-minute team fight here. Vivi going in for an assassination here, chunking out Yeyu and forcing out Xiaojia into a discomfort.
Yeah, but at this point, this is like the 10-minute mark, right? So Shadow Variants, was that the best time to pick up the ultimate usage for the side of Vivi?
Definitely a bad timing here, but if he managed to find anything, that could be pretty big here. But the tank build JR here doesn't really do a ton of damage against SJT in this case.
I mean, what I would believe is JR is trying to set up the perfect truth mantra so they can finish them off with a wombo combo from the side of HBSC, right? And he's meant to be that information finder besides Zhe.
Oh, that's true here. That could definitely be the case here, but Zhong does get spotted out here by the side of SJT.
A lot of damage being melted down as well. JR is falling low, supposed to be a tank, unable to deal the damage by the side of SJT. In the meantime, SJT playing this calm, composed, working on this 10-minute Shadow Tyrant. The Unbridled Arbor is going to be put down. They will secure it on the side of SJT, but the fight breaks out, and HBSC are looking a little stronger. They've taken the life of Yixiu as well as Xiaosha, and this is going to be perfect for the side of Homeboys.
That's the wombo combo that we dream about from the side of Homeboys Black Fury Esports. Taking two key members for the side of SJT, and right now, they have direct access towards the mid 2 towers here, and then they could potentially look to revisit that Shadow Overlord available for the taking.
Right, timing achieved. They have swung this back into their favor. Homeboys BSC here have taken a T2 in the mid. This is going to make the map so much smaller for the side of SJT. They can't walk out as freely anymore. And this happened because they took down the farm laner on the side of SJT.
But with this pickup here coming in from HBSC, they look to be in the much more commanding position here. This is what I like about the global teams here. They are not afraid to fight you if they are given the correct tools.
Just defiancy, right? End of the day, that's a point in another direction. But with the global champions of KIC, Homeboys refuse to sit down. They refuse to be based on stats here. They want to win this game.
Yeah, with a 1,000 goal lead in favor of HBSC, Shadow Overlord has been spawned towards the bot side of the map here. 1 or 2 more of the wombo combos might just set us into a game 5 scenario between these two teams.
Yep, and the goal difference now is about 2,000, where majority of that lead actually goes into the hands of Musang King. He has a 2,000 plus goal lead over his counterpart Yeyu here.
And there's also a tank built Jing that is viable only in the Chinese server here. So I'm really excited to see what kind of big plays that he can really showcase us later on in the big team fights here. But so far, Wave Clear has been really consistent coming in from SJT to mitigate any more of these turret losses.
Right, we'll see not a lot of value for the side of the Shadow Overlord here, immediately taken down by the side of SJT. Meanwhile, 3 waves crashing at the same time. Can Homeboys find an opening on any of these T3s?
Yeah, Mirror Domain being popped here by the side of Musang King, trying to chip some of the damage here, but he's going down so low. He does get taken down by the side of the Agudo.
Yep, not ideal, and this is the potential turnaround. They dive in deep for the side of SJT. They've taken down Zhihong as well. 2 members down for the price of none. And, well, okay, maybe there is a price. The T3 at the top has been taken down. So while the lives of Homeboys BSE members will be back, that T3 will not.
But these jungle resources are openly available coming in for SJT. A good way to mitigate that goal loss that they have suffered previously in that 1-2 minute game.
Yep, so Homeboys BSC looking for the defense here. The T2 being put under pressure. Zhe trying to make sure that they don't get the steal. Unfortunately, here he does get it down. Gauss mobilization knocks under 2. HBSC need to be really careful. Musang King is out. Zhihong is also out. There can be another 5v5.
We're looking at a potential big team fight coming on towards the Shadow Tyrant later on here. Whoever gets that big team fight win might just spell the win for their team here. But SGT, they do pick up yet another tier 2 on towards the top side, mitigating some of the turret losses suffered in towards that mid game just now.
Right, so SJT now have recovered a little bit of the goal lead. In fact, now I would consider it neck and neck, right? So what does SJT need to do here?
SJT, they just need to play towards their game, make sure that 2 carries don't stand in the same position here. As long as they keep the game chill, SANGJIE will always manage to save them on the initial engage.
I mean, okay, wait, hang on, take a look at this. This is going to be an Unbridled Outburst onto the backlines, but huge knockup from the side of Zhihong, quite a bit of damage as well. First life on the side of Yixiu is going to be taken down. The farm laner is out of action for the side of SJT, and all of that lead has gone to waste at this point. Homeboys, they do lose Musang King though, as well as Vivi, and now it is their turn to turn tails. Can Zhihong change the map here for the side of Homeboys BSC? No, they cannot. The chase down happens on the side of Yeyi, looking to finish her off, and here comes to dive as well. T2 though will be there to stop the engage, and Zhihong gets the punish in against this mid laner. Homeboys BSE will be able to successfully defend.
Yeah, equalizing out the kills here. Zhihong doing a pretty good job, but you can see the value of the late game team composition coming in from SJT. Yes, Yuchu is the first to fall, but there is still so much damage potential coming in from Yu's Agudo, coming from UG's Umbrosa here. So there is a lot of room for error at the very least for SJT.
I feel like this is a very peculiar situation, right? Based on draft, I mean, if you get the knockups inconsistency, then Homeboys BSE should win every single fight, right? But it feels like that finishing blow is not as clean as it should be. And SJT are consistently allowed to come out and potentially turn the game around.
But that's the beauty of the mechanics that's being portrayed by SJT. They are standing separately for the carries here. So if they want to go for those fancy wombo combos, it could potentially only be 1 or 2 members only, and the remaining members could still do tons of damage. Check out Yuji's build on towards the Umbrosa here. That's a full damage Umbrosa, by the way.
Okay, and I think that has a lot of value, right? Right now, we talked about the triple engage coming in from the side of SJT, which is here Yuji as well as Yiqiu, right? The three of them should be the ones turning the fights around. So far, it has been very proficient with the knockups and the knockback on the Unbridled Outburst, but the follow-up by Zhihong is the one that has been most impressive so far.
That is correct here. If Zhihong isn't able to get that full burst damage on towards the squishy members, then the teamfights won't be as easy coming in from HBSC. But talking about teamfight here, another shadow objective has been secured from the side of HBSC. That's a second one within the same timer here. So they are definitely going to go for those big pushes in towards that bottom lane.
Right, he does have a pretty nice positioning, but of course, you see also stands in the way of the aggression on the side of HBSC.
And right now, with the Vanguards marching through the bottom side here, double Dragons coming in towards that bottom lane here. What is the call here, HBSC? How do you realistically play this tower defense?
It's all onto the Unbridled Outburst on the side, right? Any free damage will be worth it. Right now, they're trying to force it out, and not a lot of damage. Vivi, he cannot survive it. Not enough life. And with that HBSC, they turn tails. They need to run. Here comes the Unbridled Outburst. They force out the Autobot by UG as well, which means this is a loss for the side of Homeboys BSC. They did not take another T3, and this is going to be a simple, straightforward defense for the side of SJT.
Crucial misposition coming in from the side of Homeboys. Marksman player here, he was too far up trying to look for tower damage, and he got decimated in that first attempt.
Yeah, look, the positioning by Vivi, I like the intent behind it. He wanted to make full use of his ultimate, but the save didn't come in time.
I mean, you are too upfront here, so I don't really think that you can blame HBSC for not saving in time, even though that they do save him, but that's all these spells being burned out from one mistake.
Alright, so with that being said, now SJT to survive the initial aggression, we are heading once again towards the Tempest Dragon potential here. Now, Crimson Golem going to be stolen away by the side of Yeyu, and this is a little bit tight. HBSC, they're trying to look for value across the map. Musan King trying to go for the split push as well, but the rotations are starting to come in.
Well, look at the Musan King's position though. They're pinging for the engager coming in towards the back line here, but with no proper follow-up here, they do call off the shot here, and they will look to recuperate for the upcoming Tyrant play.
I mean, this is where information is going to be very important, right? If they get a nice stun coming in from the side of Xiaojia, then this could change the fight for the side of HBSC. Bear in mind that Zhihong has shown his presence. This could be the dive they've been looking for. Nice stun on to Musan King. If they get rid of him here, it could be disastrous. It will not be able to find that opening just yet. HBSC, they managed to escape cleanly.
That was too close for comfort here coming in from Homeboys Blackstreet Esports here. But with 8 seconds on the clock here, potentially with the superior mobility, we might just see Musan King come back into the Tyrant pit on time.
Well, hopefully he does, because they need his smite here, but it's a little too fast, and it is going to be a save, a steal potentially. No, it's still secured by SJT. With that, Yeri is looking for an opening. The roll comes in. They have used the Indomitable Stay for EC, and on the back lines, they have found a target. This is going to be Vivi falling low. Musan King taken out as well. No synergy for the side of Homeboys BSE, and now they have to turn and run. With 16 seconds to go before the Tempest Dragon is going to be spawning. It looks like SJT want to deal one more blow.
I don't think they even need the Tempest Dragon with 3v5 on towards the board right now. They might just be going for the engage.
Oh, Zhihong! What a nice catch. This could be the turnaround they've been looking for. Zhihong will give his life for the cause, but right now it's just Vivi and Che. No save available. Che does not have his ultimate to deal with the threat on the side of SJT, and they will manage to stave off the aggression. But this one is a painful position to be in. Homeboys, Black True Esport. They might have just given away the Tempest Dragon to SJT.
But at the very least, Zhihong does stall the game into a later part of the series here. And with the Primal Bond, this wouldn't be going down so fast. Potentially, we might see Musang King being able to approach the pit here with the Jing.
Yeah, Che does have his ultimate available if he gets a perfect Unbridled All. But Vivi, what are you doing? Taken down, and everything goes to a loss. Homeboys BSE punished by the side of SJT as they look to finish the blow here. SANGJIE team have found what they were looking for, and that's 2 core members, Vivi and Che, taken down as the defense coming in for the Crystal is only 3 men strong.
It's a long 30 seconds here for the side of HBSC, and with the waves coming through the mid lane here, this might just be game for the side of SJT.
Yup, they try, but they can't do it. JR is the first to fall. Musang King will follow shortly. Zhihong manages a 1v1, but what good is that when the minions are in your base? SJT complete the sweep here. It's 3-1, and what a beautiful play from the streamer team.